Whether we like it or not, we are always critiquing, rating, and reviewing films in our heads. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to talk about my process and how I rate films. The first thing I look at is the filmmaking itself. How's the writing? Is the acting good? What about the cinematography? The editing? Film is unique in that it's kind of like a giant machine. If one of the cogs doesn't work, then the whole thing can blow up. But I personally notice that the cog that doesn't work the most is the writing. I would argue that most films fail on this aspect. Now, perhaps I'm biased as I'm a writer myself, but that is what I notice the most. Rating films in the capacity of the filmmaking alone is quite easy. It's very easy to recognize bad acting and bad writing, but there are some films that the filmmaking is quite good, but they are still bad. This brings us into my second thing I look at when rating films. I ask myself two questions after the film has ended. The first is, was the film successful in doing whatever it was trying to do? The other question I ask is, what is the one word that comes to mind after I've watched it? This is when my 10-point scale comes in. For each number, I've assigned a single word to it that describes what the number represents. For example, a 5 means the film was average, a 7 means it was good, and a 3 means it was bad. Now, rating films does have its problems, the major one being in that film is an art form and thus is very subjective. One's own tastes, opinions, and background do influence one's enjoyment of a film. Another issue people have with rating film is that it makes films look like they are on an even playing field, i.e. a classic can get the same score as a rom-com. I would argue that because what makes a classic successful different to what makes a rom-com successful. What makes a film good or bad for me is that the filmmaking itself combined with my emotional reaction to it. These two checkpoints are what I use in rating films. However, it is important not to get too hung up about other people's ratings and opinions. No one is the sole authority of what is good or bad. At the end of the day, it is up to you to decide if you like a film or not. Film, like any art form, is subjective. You may love a film that I hate and vice versa, and that is totally okay. We get too hung up about ratings and reviews. Make your own decision and don't be afraid to voice your thoughts, which you can do on Letterboxd, where you should follow me on. You should also follow me on all my other social media links, which are all linked below. Let me know in the comments how you review films. What's your process? Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I make videos every week. I'll see you guys next time.